Yet, that I believe shows the intent of the Turkish government, is the proceedings of the trial of Solomon Terian. You know, Solomon Terian assassinated Talat Pasha in Berlin. He was tried. And the trial lasted several weeks. Then the jury deliberated for only 3 hours, and then they found Terian not guilty. Therefore, during that trial, enough evidence was produced to verify the fact of the Armenian genocide. And everybody knew that Solomon Terian assassinated Talat Pasha. That was murder, right? But he was absolved of that crime because the evidence that was produced during the trial showed that this man had the right to do what he did. Now, the transcripts of the Solomon Terian's trial, of course, are in German, and I believe they should be explored. The evidence produced to the German court must be explored, because there you could also find another proof that shows the intention of the Turkish government. In the 1930s, MGM decided to produce a film, Franz Werfel's The 40 Days of Musadah. The Turkish government pressured the US State Department to prevent MGM from producing this film. Why? Because that film, if produced, would have put holes in the Turkish argument. Because Musadah is not near the border with Russia. Musadah is west of Antioch near the Mediterranean Sea. And there they also wanted to annihilate the Armenians who lived there, far away from the Russian border. That's why they pressured the US State Department to prevent MGM from producing that film, and MGM complied. They yielded. In 1982, in Tel Aviv, Israel, there was a conference to discuss the Holocaust and the genocides that preceded it and the genocides that followed it. The Turkish government pressured the government of Israel to exclude any discussion of the Armenian genocide during that conference. And they said that if the Israeli government went ahead and discussed the Armenian genocide, then the Jewish community in Turkey would be threatened. Why do they do such things? Why do they threaten other governments? When the Armenian genocide comes for discussion in international forums, why do they apply such pressure and make such threats? Because they know that they are lying through their teeth. They know that their arguments are very shallow and cannot stand a serious scrutiny. Any serious scrutiny of the Turkish arguments would show its fallacy. And now they have resorted to what shall I say, bribing?
Right.
Well, of course, they don't say they're bribing, but they are hiring former US congressmen to lobby for Turkey and present their side of the story. Among them is Dick Gephardt, Stephen Solars, former congressman from New York, Bob Livingston, Republican of Louisiana. He was a former congressman. Each one of these guys is paid $1 million a year to present the Turkish side of the story to the US government and public and convince them that the Armenians are telling tall tales and that their version of the story is the only right one. It's amazing. But now we're seeing cracks in recently the Pope acknowledged the veracity of the Armenian genocide, the governments of Austria and Germany. Now Germany is important because Germany was the ally of Turkey during World War I. And the German archives contain a lot of evidence that substantiate the veracity of the Armenian genocide. And the German parliament finally came to grips that they were somehow liable for not preventing the Armenian genocide. They were the only European nation that could have prevented the massacres of the Armenians in Turkey. But they didn't, because they didn't want to annoy or disturb their ally at the time. So now, more and more nations are getting the courage to declare that our side of the story is the true one, and that the Turks are lying. But I'm pessimistic about Erdogan's government making a declaration accepting their crown for the Armenian genocide. I don't believe that the present government of Turkey under Erdogan will ever admit their guilt. There are now some Turkish historians and Turkish members of parliament who are admitting that what happened to the Armenians was a genocide. And some of those participated with the Armenians in demonstrations at Haydar Pasha train station and at the Taksim Square in Istanbul. They were harassed, of course, by the Turkish nationalists. It's difficult for many Turks to know the truth because since 1918, the Turkish government has fed them with lies. Their textbooks are full of lies. In their textbooks, the Armenians are vilified. The Armenians are described as traitors. They said the Armenians sided with the Russians and they were guilty of treason. And that's why they had to be relocated. So that's what the Turks have learned in their schools. And it's very difficult to eradicate those false thoughts from their minds. It would take time. It would take time. But finally, the truth will triumph. Truth can be silenced, but it cannot be destroyed. Truth would eventually triumph.
Yeah.
High-Med video clinic. I'd like everybody to join us, the High-Med. And then Ginia, and as well as Meg High-Med course. Thank you. As well as you follow the choir. Thank you.
Oh
ներկայություն եւ զորություն եւ փառք հավիտյանց հավիտենից ամեն։ Մեր պաշտելի եւ փառավոր Աստվածը, որ մեր բաբերը չթողոցին քեզ եւ չհեռացան քու սիրել, դուր որ դեր անոնց սերը եւ հավատքը, որուն ժառանգորդներն ենք մենք այսօր եւ քեզ կփառավորենք եւ մենք ալ իրենց նման չենք կրնար բաժնել քեզ մե, այլ կխնդրենք քո առաջնորդությունդ։ Արդար Աստված, օրը չէ օրը այդ բոլոր անարդարությանց ճշմարտությունը Երևան պիտի ելնե եւ դու պիտի իշխես գրգին մեր սրտերում մեջ, մեր հոգիներում մեջ եւ մեզ պիտի առաջնորդես հավիտենական կյանք։ Մեր բաբերը Բողոս Արաքյալի նմանեցին, ով կրնազատել մեզ Քրիստոսի սերեն, դարաբանքը, նեղությունը, չարչարանքը, սովը, մահը մեզ ովևէ կերպով չի կրնար քու սերեդ հեռացնել։ Այո, մեր Տերը եւ Փրկիչը, դու մեզ այնչափ սիրեցիր, որ խաչապայտին վրա կանգնեցար, արյունը թափեցիր մեր թողության համար եւ մեզի հավիտենական կյանքի առաջնորդեցիր։ Գահավատան, որ անոնք, որոնք անաբադ կացին, անոցի ծարավ, այդ մտնոլորտի մեջ իրենց կյանքը գործունեցին, դունս իրեն քուքով դարիր եւ անոնց հարկայությունը ներկայացուցիր։ Ով դեր մենք ալ անոնց սերունդին հաջորդներն ենք եւ մենք ալ կվգայենք մեր բաբերուն հավատքը, մեզի զորություն եւ քաջություն բարգեւեն եւ կխնդրենք, որ իսլամ ժողովրդին քուր լույսը ներկայացնես, ճշմարտությունը կեցնես, անոնց հոգիները դարձնես, խաղաղության հոգին բարգեւես եւ սիրո հոգին բարգեւես, որ անգամ այսպիսի ջենոսայդը չկործադրեն։ Ներկայությունով քու օրհնությունդ եւ առաջնորդությունդ կխնդրեն մեր ժողովրդի մնացորդացի վրա եւ զորություն եւ քաջություն մեր Տեր Հիսուս Քրիստոսի շնորհքը, Հոր Աստծո սերը եւ Սուրբ Հոգին հաղորդակցությունը մեզ ամեն մեկուն հետ միասին ըլլա մեր ամբողջ քայլափոխին։ Ամեն։
Ach, Anina, thank you.
Well done, thank you.
Thank you.